Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and yep. You probably knew I was going to do this one eventually, just because, well, I actually still remember when Skyrim launched, because I was actually looking forward to it personally myself way back in 2011. Funny story, it actually launched on my mother's birthday, so I ended up in a weird position where I was like, I'm gonna be in my room all day, not really making much noise, feel free to just ignore me for a bit. She was more than happy to do that, of course, but let's actually get onto the game, shall we? This is indeed the Switch version, because why on earth would I be playing any other version? And I've been playing for about, well, it says that I've been playing for about 8 hours, but that doesn't feel right. I have left the game running, like, and have it out in the menu like this, and I think the timer keeps counting up. I have been playing for about 5 or 6 hours at least, I know that much, but 8 hours seems like a bit too much, so I think there's something wrong with the timer. And just in case you didn't know, this does come with all 3 DLCs pre-installed and all the patches. However, this is a Bethesda game we're talking about. They can never fully patch up a game themselves, as far as I'm aware. This version does not have mod support, and it will never get mod support, but, well, I've been surprised before. So, let's just load up my most recent save game. Level 12, few hours in. It's, unfortunately, very hard for me to really demonstrate what Skyrim is like, especially since in order to really get a good feel for the game, you need to be a ridiculous amount of hours in, but, well, I can still talk about the basics if I just boil it right the hell down, so we'll be doing that. Hopefully. Maybe. But anyway, here we are. Don't know why I opened the pause menu there. So, Skyrim is an open world RPG, an absolutely massive one. There is an amazing amount of stuff to do, people to meet, things to see, and of course things to kill, places to loot. And that's just the long and the short of it. It is exactly that. You go around to places, you meet people, you get quests from them, and you then go out and you loot the world as much as you possibly can.
What's the matter?
You can talk to people, and sometimes they'll give you things to do, but sometimes they'll just give you a voice line. It's alright. Voice acting's pretty good for the most part. There are a couple of weird ones that come from time to time, but more or less it's just wandering around and doing whatever the hell you want, basically. As soon as you walk out the front door of the tutorial dungeon, you can go in any direction you like, and that's what we're gonna do. I do have quests to do and things that we might see along the way, but other than that, there's really not that. I mean, there's really no reason not to just walk out the front door and walk in a random direction. You can do that as soon as you come out of the tutorial dungeon, and that's probably one of the best things about Bethesda games. You can ignore the main quest as much as you want. You can ignore side quests as much as you want. You can literally go around plucking butterflies out of the air, going fishing, and collecting a series of random books to put inside your house. I do actually have a house, which is a nice thing to have in this game, because it's nice to have somewhere to store the loot you can't sell, because everyone's already broke from buying the shit you already gave them. But nevertheless, we're just going to go have a bit of a look around, because, well, there's not really any reason not to. I can hit the X button on my controller, which is not the default button, it's actually B, but I've remapped B to be my jump button. So if I hit the X button, go to the map, you can see that just down here, you can see all these tiny little icons here, and you can see how far out the icons stretch. These are all cities, dungeons, points of interest, or just things that you can go and fight and clear out. I've done a few of these, but not many of them, but you can see how I've cleared some of them. And basically, the entire idea is to just pick a direction and go, more or less. You can follow the main quest if you want. You can follow some of the side quests. I went up to the College of Winterhold to get myself a bunch of spells, because I prefer to be a mage. But, I mean, other than that, you can literally just start walking. And that's kind of the best thing to do in these sorts of games, because while there's never anything that's too surprising, like you're never going to run into a bloody UFO unless you're playing a game like Fallout 3, for example, in Skyrim at least, you can wander any direction you damn well please and do whatever the damn hell you like. There are a few things to add on top, of course, like I have things like, say, I have a horse, which I've gone and left behind, but he'll just respawn at the nearest stable if I go away from him for too long. Combat is pretty simple. You can hold something in either hand or both hands. I don't actually have any two-handed weapons because, you know, I'm a mage. Mages and two-handed weapons make no sense to me, but I can light this poor fox on fire, kill it, walk over to it, and loot its valuables. You can get things like crafting ingredients from them as well. There's a bunch of different skills related to that, and we can get to them later, but for now, we're just going to have a little bit of a wander around. Looks like we've wandered across a giant's camp, and something tells me I don't want to stay here for too long, because giants are ridiculous in this game. If I hit up on the D-pad, I actually have a bunch of stuff listed as favorites, which we'll get into later, but basically it just lets me pick whatever damn abilities I please, and thanks to a special ability I have unlocked, I can dual-hand spells, and somehow curve the bullet around the fucking giant. Okay, let's try it again. So, I'm attacking the giant. This is probably a really bad idea in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just going to run the hell away. Poor Lydia's getting absolutely fried here. And now I'm about to suffer my own foolishness. However, I might actually be able to unlock this chest before I unlock this chest before I run away, I should say. There are, of course, a couple of mini-games here and there. This is the unlocking minigame, and it actually ties into one of your skills. You can see my lockpicking skill going up every lockpick I break. And the higher your lockpick skill is, obviously, the more likely you will be to unlock any set of locks. But you can also just spend a ridiculous amount of lockpicks in order to just guess your way through. It's actually good to do this as well, because it'll give you a bit of... It'll give you a lot of XP. But anyway, I've unlocked the chest, so now I get to see what's in it. I have gauntlets, lots of gold, a ruby, and leather boots of waning fire that are worth a lot of money. That's awesome. Alright, time to run for it. Thankfully, Lydia is kind of completely and utterly invulnerable, so... I mean, she'll... Oh, God. She'll go down, but she'll pop back up and rejoin me eventually. I just need to get far enough away so that I won't get trampled by the bloody mammoths and the giant and the... Oh, God, I am so screwed, aren't I? Why did I dare mess with a goddamn giant? Running away now. Oh, God, I'm out of bloody stamina. This is bad. He's right behind me, isn't he? Yeah, there he is. Thankfully, I think I have an item that can... Actually, I can level up. That's convenient. Let's actually level up and get myself some more magicka. Every time you level up, you can get just a straight stat boost to your health, your magicka, which is obviously your mana, and your stamina, which will determine what sort of weapons you can swing and how often you can swing them. I'll show you what that means in a second. Once this giant has left me alone, because Jesus wept. Alright, he's not giving up. That I should not have tried to heal myself there. Let's conjure some help, shall we? Okay, no, apparently I need bodies to do that. Let's not use them. Instead, let's try something else. What do I have that might work against this guy? I'm definitely not going to try and run up and sword him. That would be insane. Alright, yeah, we'll just keep firebolting him. Whoa! Okay, that's not a good idea either, but he's going to keep coming for us, isn't he? Yes, he is. So while I'm running from him, let's talk about a few things. Like, we've got the overall port in general, and... Well, to be fair, this game still looks as good as it did in 2011. I mean, the environments just look fantastic, even with their limited technical... abilities. Like, this game came out in 2011 on the console, so it definitely isn't the best looking... It definitely isn't the best looking game anyone's ever seen. But, wow! Jesus, what happened there? Okay, never mind. I'm going to jump cut back to past that giant camp, because I am a goddamn idiot who tried to take on giants. Alright, so I've ridden past the giants camp. They don't appear to be too interested in me right now, thankfully. So we're just going to continue moseying on. And I did actually figure out how to control a third-person camera in this game, finally. But yes, as I was saying before, the game is, well, it's never been a very technical looker, because it did come back out on 2011 on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but it still looks really nice. They've done a really good job with making the entire world feel like a nice little slice of paradise, except it's not really paradise because it's filled with things like vampires and horrible things like that. So, but the thing about the world is its absolute size. Like, people make fun, quite rightly, of the idea that, you know, point at a mountain and you can go to it. Well, in this game, it's actually true. I could go to that mountain to the east there if I wanted to, or I could move north to that mountain. I can do that. That's a thing that can be done. I can move up here to what appear to be a bunch of stone ruins. Dustman's Cairn. Interesting. So I could actually go in there and explore if I wanted to, and you know what? I'm going to do just that, if I can remember what button is to get off this damn horse. So let's go and have a look around, shall we? So there's a door here, and this opens one of the game's many, many, many dungeons. There's seriously a ridiculous amount of dungeons in these games. Like, I'm pretty sure Skyrim has something like 100. I'll be damned if I can remember the exact number, but it's huge by default. So the general gameplay loop of Elder Scrolls thus starts here. You come across a dungeon or an instance or just something to go explore, and you wander on inside and try and fight things. You saw me trying to fight some giants before and failed miserably. Oh hey, a book that'll increase one of my skills. I'll take that book because it's worth a fair bit of money. But anyway, actual combat. Allow me to actually spawn a weapon and show you how physical combat works in this game. So when you have a weapon, you can use the button to attack. You can hold the button down for another attack, and if I was using an actual physical weapon, I'd be able to block with it by using the other button as well. There are other things you can do, like you can hold a shield to defend yourself with, and you can shield bash, but I mean, other than that, it's all pretty simple stuff, more or less. If you don't have enough stamina, you can't do a certain amount of things. Let's loot his body for anything that might be worth actually putting in the effort to take back with me, but there's probably not that much unless one of them has one of those fancy gems on them. And we'll try and unlock another chest. Hopefully we'll be able to unlock this one really easily because it's a novice lock, because novice locks are much easier to pick, see? I've even got a weaker version of Magic Potion, which will be fairly usable, reasonable-ish. Is that it? Is that literally it for this place? I can actually check that. Now, apparently this is not the end of it, because it'll say cleared once we've done the entire thing. So, I must be missing something in this little dungeon here. But I'm not seeing anything in the way of doors. There wasn't anything on the table either. Maybe it's a chest I haven't looted or something, but either way, I don't see it. Oh, we got some free bone meal there, which is an ingredient, so that'll be nice to have. Might bring out some candlelight, because I can't see too well. I can never see too well in this bloody game. There's no brightness option in the menu or anything, so you have to just rely on your own light source. But it seems like there's not actually that much here. Alright, I guess we'll make our way back out. There's not that much else to see in here. And we'll just head in another direction and keep exploring. So you go in, you find stuff that's worth taking, you take it, and off you go, son. That is pretty much the entirety of this game in a nutshell. Some people will find this extremely boring, and I do not blame you for that. Oh hey, skeletons! Hey, you rear your head at them. Let's blow the crap out of them with some firebolts, because that's what I'm much more confident with, so let's do that. Alright. Skeletons. Suck it. Hey, come back down here. Boom. Alright. So yeah, generally the basic idea about this game is that you just have to look around for stuff to loot, and then you loot it. And then you can do whatever you want with it. You can use it as your own weaponry, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want. Oh, hey! A Draugr that's actually... might actually be a... oh, dear. You do have a couple of other abilities as well. That's the Whirlwind Sprint. Since you are a Dragonborn, the main quest involves you getting special shout powers, and that was one of them. The only problem is that the only ones I have are Fust Row. It's not even Fust Row Die yet, because the first time I played through this game, I never even found the third part of that. And... oh, God. It's a master level lock. I'm never going to get... I'm probably not even going to get close to finding where I need the lockpick to be to unlock this. Okay, well, it's on the left. Let's not fiddle with that too much, shall we? And of course, there are the quests. There are many quests. If I hit the start button and move over to the quest menu, you can see that I have an absolute ton of quests. Dawnguard and Dragonborn are the DLC quests. The rest are just stuff that I've run into. Look at all these miscellaneous objectives. Look at all of them. The game has... well, I don't want to call them infinite quests, because they're more like procedurally generated things. When you go to... you can go to some certain people, and they'll basically just point you at a location and say, go and get me something from this, and I'll give you a reward for it. Which is absolutely fine. I just don't think it deserves to be called a quest. There are a fair few less quests than actual proper quests, I mean, not just procedural ones. There are a lot less quests than, you know, the procedurally generated ones, but what's here is still pretty good as well. You have plenty of things to go do. Like, there's a bunch of different quest lines that you can play along with. I believe the Thieves quest is one. There's the Fighters Guild, the College of Winterhold, which is the Mage Guild, which I've actually done a little bit of at this point in the story. There's just a lot of stuff to do, and the game is kind of overwhelming about it. It's kind of silly, actually. Oh, hey, look, there's books. There's tons of these kinds of books as well. Did I just say... no, commission. I thought that said communism. I've been on the internet too much. Ooh, Orcish bow. I actually want that. That's more powerful than the bow I've got. Uh-oh. There we go. Don't want him to get too close to me. But yep, I get the Eye of Sabercat and the Sabercat Pearl. Both of which are worth some money. Oh god, what? Hi! Don't have enough magic in my ass. There we go. So the game has a ridiculous amount of stuff to do, things to find. You name it, there's probably something in here. I've left my horse behind. Hang on, I'm gonna have to go back and get him. The only problem with it, and honestly, I think this is less of a problem the less games you've played. It's an interesting dilemma. Now, some people have called this game the depth of a paddling pool. That's the line that a lot of people I've heard talk about this game reference it with. And while that is true, at the same time, it's a really, really wide paddling pool. Like, seriously, the paddling pool in this case is probably about the size of the goddamn Pacific Ocean. There's an absolutely massive amount of ground to cover with all sorts of dungeons to clear out, items to find, and just stuff to do to help you get to that point. It's a very basic loop. I've gone and lost my horse. This is actually really... well, actually, it's not that bad, as I've said before. Wow. This is new. I hope this isn't my hardware. I haven't seen any bug like that before in this port yet. Oh, well, screw it. Won't waste too much time. Let's go on to somewhere else, shall we? But anyway, as I was saying, while it doesn't really get that much deeper than, you know, surface level stuff and maybe a couple of choices here and there for people you want to choose to help out, At the same time, just the entire loop of doing quests, finding items, building stuff, and just all of that crap can keep you occupied for months at a time. This is one of those sorts of games. And it really is quite something. Games like this don't come along very often, where you can just drop in and then come out the other end 2 weeks later with absolutely no idea how you got to where you were from where you are. Where you are to wait from what? Let me try that again. You can spend something like 2 weeks in this game going from one place to another without a clue how you got from point A to point B and not give a shit. And it's great. There's a bunch of stuff going on up there, but that means I need to find a way up that hill. Which looks like it's probably just going to be right around here. Whoop. We have a ghost. You don't want to do this? Okay. Alright, I'll put you out of your misery, mates. Don't know where Lydia's run off to, but I could really use a help right now. How the fuck I dodged my fireball. There we go. He actually had a reasonable sword on him. There we go. What does he have? Golden lockpick? I'll take it. I don't bother taking the armor, mainly because armor is so heavy. It does make a fair amount of money, but if you take all the armor that you see, you're going to spend bloody ages just running back to somewhere else to dump all your armor off on some poor dude, and they're going to run out of money real fast. Interesting. Whoop! Oh, it's Lydia. She comes out of nowhere sometimes, I tell ya. Let's go have a look around, shall we? I believe that this will be a door inside something. Yes. Run Vegs fast. I don't even know what that means. Oh, still let the spell off anyway, because of course I did. You do have a very basic stealth system, which you can do by just simply crouching and moving around. It is a skill of its own. In fact, once we clear out this dungeon, I'll have to go through the rest of the game's systems just to make it look like it's not just me running around shooting fireballs at dudes, which it definitely is not. And there's a ghost there. You can actually get sneak attacks with certain weapons, but fireballs do not count as sneaky weapons. Boom! Good old kill cams. It's alright, Mr. Ghost. I got you out of your torment. We got items over here. Potions. Enchanter's Droughts. That's interesting. A troll skull. I'm surprised we can find any way to carry that around with us. I'm not even wearing a backpack. A lot of these dungeons do look kind of similar because they did make them out of a similar set of pieces. But at the same time, they're not so dumb as to actively repeat the same layouts in a dungeon over and over and over again. They're not that silly.
I've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, this stinks of a trap. That was a horrible miss on my part. Let's do that again. He's standing still this time. Oh, this guy's actually a... Okay, this guy's a problem. Or not. Alright. Moving along. I'll just put them away to save the mana. Steel mace, 17 damage. Maybe I'll take it. I can sell it if I don't want it. That looks like a trap. Stay back or I'll be forced to attack you? Huh? Where is he? I don't even see him. Oh. Right, okay. Let's just jump over this. Oh, hey, word of power. Awesome. This is what you need for your shouts. Kind's peace. I assume that's something that'll calm people down. And there is nothing in this chest. Which means my assumption that this is a trap is 100% correct. 100% correct. Awesome. Alright, let's see if we can find this warlock that Lydia is apparently having some major troubles with. Where in the hell? Well, there's a door over here. Oh, I can even unlock it. Alright, let's do that. You know what, just to be safe, I'm going to come in here with a little bit more of a physical build, because a warlock usually isn't very good with their physical weaponry. What's in the chest? Extra gold and a steel helmet of alchemy, which will give me a fair bit of money in the markets. Thankfully in this game, like most computer RPGs, you can quick save, which is what I'm going to do before I go down this pit. Awesome. Now, bitch, get me out of here. I have no idea what he was going to say, but... Alright, give me all of them, sure. And a robe, because it's worth a fair bit of money. And ooh, he even killed the assistant for me. She even killed the assistant for me. That is awesome, actually. I will unlock this gate and search the Breton. May he rest in peace, I suppose. Oh yeah, I can activate that to take the torch off, which will hide me in the darkness. But okay, that was surprisingly easy. This is why I take that poor girl along anyway. That poor dog is, that poor dog has been stripped of everything. So let's make our way out. Does this shouldn't even do anything? Oh yeah, it just opens that up. Even though there was already open door. Take the potions, please. Wow, that was worth a lot of money. So what else we got in here? Books and another potion. People are probably looking at this and getting motion sick because I do a lot of movement with my analog sticks while I'm running around in this. Hello. Cast both my spells at once. Take out the poor ghost. I could pick up a battle axe for two-handed weapons, but two-handed weaponry for me in this game is not a good idea. What do we got? Another dead Draugr and a bloody dead end, of course. How did Lydia even get down in that pit? Awesome. What's in the chest? An elven helmet. And not much in the way of... Oh. Alright. Sure, why not?
Huh?
So we just come up here in a completely random part of the world. Well, it's probably not completely random. We're probably relatively close to where we were previously. Let's have a look at the world map. There it is. Yep, we cleared that out surprisingly easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back to town and I'm going to show off the other mechanics that this game's got. Not really that much in the grand scheme of things, but we will see shortly, I promise you that much. Thank God for fast travel in this game, because if you had to wander across bloody Skyrim for every single journey you had to make, it would just drive you mad. I've heard of some people that actually don't do fast travel in this game, which would be insane. But then again, those are the sort of people that would add mods to the PC version that would make it so that if you were too cold, you'd die. Alright, so here we are in town again. We've been here before. And there are some crafting things you can do. So, like, if I come over to the blacksmith's forge, I can turn some of the resources I've got into different pieces of equipment. If I have, of course, the amount of iron and stuff that I need, just, you know, the relative resources. I unfortunately don't have the stuff I need for studded armor. If I had steel, I could make some Imperial stuff. And obviously, some pieces of armor and some pieces of weaponry are better than others, and you can improve these slightly by taking them over to another thing over here, which is the grindstone. Well, no, the tanning rack here will let you make leather, which is nice. I actually want to make some leather just while I'm here, because it's better to carry around pure leather. You can come here to the... Nope, wrong thing. And we can actually use the smelter to turn iron ore that we found into ingots. I don't actually have any ore right now. Oh well. But you literally can mine it using a pickaxe. And you can use the grindstone to improve weapons, and I do not have an ingot to do that with, which is unfortunate, but you can see that using the ingot would improve the damage of the weapon slightly, and of course you can upgrade to other weapons. And you can even enchant some stuff if I just wander up here. Hopefully I don't have to wait around for it to open up, but... Wrong door. Correct door.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
We can also use the Alchemy Lab to build potions, which is nice. So if I wanted to make a poison, for example, that I could apply to a weapon to make it so that it would hurt them even more on hit, or I could make it so that I could make a resist frost potion, or a potion to restore my stamina. Let's do that, actually. So if I use these and I hit the Y button, I craft a potion to restore stamina, and it puts my alchemy up ever so slightly.
Trying new things. Alchemy rewards.
And every ingredient in the game also has a bunch of different things that it can do. So if I ate some garlic, for example, I can resist poison from it. And I don't want to eat glow dust, but I could eat some hawk feathers. Cure disease. Interesting. But yeah, you can turn them into all sorts of little potions that you can use as much as you like. I can even take that stuff. Don't know why it's going to let me take all of this, because I shouldn't be able to... Oh.
You thieving little elf. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia.
You thieving little elf. I am actually an elf, but...
Pardon me, but do I detect a case of the rattles?
I do believe I'm actually a little bit ill. I think I contracted vampirism, so... For some reason, despite the fact that I literally took a potion from off her desk, which for some reason was marked as a stealing thing.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy. What are you doing that for?
Yeah, odd, but yeah, you saw that I can make potions there. You can even craft pieces of equipment. You can add enchantments to pieces of equipment, which is a neat little thing that you can do.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy.
So, like, if I just head over to my items, you can see that I've got some stuff that's enchanted already. Like, my Necromancer robes will give me my Magicka back 75% faster. And I also enchanted this ring to make it give it back 1% faster, but that's actually completely and utterly useless. Creative potions are 17% more powerful. It'd be good to put that on right before you make potions and then take it off before you go back out into the fight, but there you go. Elven helmet. And it does actually count as light armor, which is neat. So I'm guessing Elven is the type of armor I want to go for. But anyway, time to explain to you what the actual leveling system in this game is. This game doesn't run on experience, much like any other game. It runs on a special kind of system where the more that you use a specific ability, the more you will be able to apply perks to it. So, just as an example, I've got 33 destruction right now. So if I head in here, I can make it so that, we'll say, fire spells do 25% more damage. So if I do that, I can now use fire spells and they'll be way stronger than they were before. And these simple skill trees are more accessible the more points you get in them, and you get the points simply by using that skill. So the more you use destruction spells like the fireballs, the more you will gain in that thing. And you have skills for everything, like Restoration, which is your healing magic, Alteration, which is things like your shielding magic, Conjuration, which is like reviving zombies, and then you've got all your other skills as well, like Alchemy, talking to people, pickpocketing people, lockpicking, sneaking, your different kinds of armor and physical weaponry, and your enchanting as well. So, the more you do, the stronger you get in those areas. Which brings another dilemma, because there are actually some things like skill checks that you can get simply by having a certain amount of stats in some areas. And the game's one of those games where you might actually want to restart and try and play as a different class. However, Skyrim was one of the first games to actually de-incentivize that, because in the previous Elder Scrolls games, you had to pick some major skills that would level up faster and be the ones that actively determined your whenever you'd be able to level up. But in this game, literally anything you do will help you level up, which is an interesting compromise, because it means that the game isn't as restartable as it was before, but at the same time, it means that you're not locked into something from the very beginning, which is, I gotta admit, much more appealing to me, because I do like being able to, oh dear. Lydia? Lydia, help! Thank you. Right, better get my fast healing on my left hand and just do that. Muscle some health back and get back to the fight. There we go. Combat is... Well, the combat, to be fair, it's rather simple, but it's still pretty satisfying to do, especially when you're fighting something strong and you pull everything you got out of your ass to make it work. Decent enough, does the job. There have been things like combat mods on the PC, but as I was saying, it means that you can do basically whatever you want, and you're not locked into whatever you set to start out with. Your initial race and customization of all that, which I can actually show off here, because I'm actually a high elf, which is not the typical race you'd expect from a bloody game like this. Like, some people might play the Nords, for example, but it means that while you don't have to be locked into a certain path straight away just because you had just because you thought, oh, maybe being a mage would be a good idea. Oh, no, I don't really like playing mage in this game, while I'm stuck with it. At least in this game, you can correct course if you really need to a couple of hours in, which is nice. And it just makes that initial loop all the more satisfying, because you're doing it exactly how you want. Like, sometimes I'll need to pull out a weapon if people get too close to me. And I can do that because it doesn't force me down a particular path just because I like using things like spells. I'm already halfway up level 13, really. So just overall, it basically just turns into a... Oh dear. I want to get as close as humanly possible before I do this. Oh, no, they've been alerted. That was the wrong spell to use. Let's get the fireballs back out, shall we? Yeah, suck it. Let's see what he's got on him. So yeah, the entire game just turns into this loop of go and loot what you want, bring it back home, and do whatever the hell you want with it. Beat the crap out of a ton of dudes, follow whatever story you please. I'm not even following a story right now. I'm just... Oops, sorry, Lydia. I'm not even following a story. I'm just going around and beating the crap out of people. And to be fair, in this game, that's what I like to do. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to be a crafting master, if you want to just come at people with swords all the bloody time, you can do whatever you want with all of that. Something tells me I want to be as far away from this dude as possible while trying to attack him, so let's do that. This is why I keep her with me. She's very useful. I don't care that you yield. I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Iron Warhammer of Sparks. That's worth a decent amount of money. I guess I can take it. He had a ton of money, and ooh, that's some good armor. Worth a good bit of money. There are things about it that can get annoying, like, you've got things such as, you know, not being able to find stuff to sell. Some of the quests can get a little bit annoying with how certain difficulty spikes can come in them. And obviously going in the wrong place at the wrong time will get your ass beat. I have done it a few times because there are a few options that I will take the time to go over once we have evacuated this dungeon. But yeah, basically, it's just a giant world of things to find, stuff to do, and I genuinely enjoy it. People might sound surprised at that, but I really do enjoy just wandering around this giant world looking for people to beat up. I have a good time with it. So it's a shame you can't install mods on this version, because that 8GB of RAM might be going to a little bit of waste, I gotta say, but that must have been the end of the dungeon. I imagine this is the way out. Yep, that's just the way out again. Easy done, I guess. So, a few other things to look at just before we move on. If I hit the start button and go back to my things like my general stats, you can see all of the stuff here that you might want. Man, I've got so many quests to do. Come down to your settings. You do have motion controls and gesture attacks. Not worth the time. Invert, vibration. Your difficulty is interesting because it means you just turn up the damage they do to you and you do to them. Well, you do less damage to them. And I've currently got on expert, which is well, it's the 4th difficulty out of 6. And I'm doing fine on that, but yeah, if you want the game to be hard, you can make it real hard. There's your autosave too, which is kind of nice. I just have that as low as humanly possible. You can change these things here. The subtitles start off turned off, which is actually kind of annoying. And there's all your audio sliders, including footsteps, which is a nice little thing if you don't like hearing your footsteps that much. You can rebind every individual control, which is nice. You have a help screen that tells you everything you need to know. Even legendary skills. What are legendary skills? I don't remember them being in the game. Oh, nice. Okay. But yeah, there you go. That's basically it. I mean, I could have shown off a big quest. I could have done something like that, but I do believe the most value you're going to get out of Skyrim is just wandering around and exploring the world. That's genuinely the most fun to be had in this title, because just seeing what's out there and beating the crap out of it if it wants to do the same to you is probably what gives this game all its legs. There's just a lot of stuff to find, a lot of things to do, and the world is absolutely massive, and that's mainly my favorite thing about it. Oh, dead mud crab in here. There are other things that'll happen as well, like dragons will come down and fight you from time to time, and those can be quite bad to deal with if you're not prepared for them. If you steal from someone, they'll send raiding parties after you. You'll get attacked by them out of nowhere. I actually got attacked by 2 parties at once, which was really weird. But yeah, it's a simple game. It's not massively complex. But I still think it's a good time if you're just looking for a wander the world and level up however you see fit experience. It was very good at that back in the day and is still pretty good at it today. Better at it than Fallout 4, I reckon. Might as well talk about the port, then. If this isn't a trap, I don't know what is. Hey, Ruby Dragonclaw. It's worth a lot of money, but there are... Oh, dear. I blew him halfway across the room. Actually, I can do that. Oh, he's too strong for it. That's a shame. Yeah, kill cam. Might as well take some free arrows since they're weightless. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying about the port. I have indeed been playing this game in both the portable and the docked modes, and both of them are perfectly fine. I haven't noticed anything in the way of major frame rate drops. That little lag you saw earlier on in the video, that was the first time I've ever seen that. And playing it in handheld is perfectly fine. The controls are fine. The frame rate holds up. It's all perfectly good. What the? Oh, Jesus. Was that a pressure plate? Yep, that was a pressure plate I stepped on. Right, let's go back to my fast healing, shall I? So I'll do that again. Step on that just to make sure it was that. Indeed it was. Right. Let's continue to have a look around. But yeah, the port is absolutely fine. It's 30 FPS, and I gotta say that the, she almost got me killed, the bitch. It's not, like, it's not particularly great. I mean, it's 30 FPS, and just sometimes it just doesn't particularly look that great in handheld mode, and of course, you know, it runs the battery out like nobody's business. Is there another pressure plate in here? It looks like there'd be another, or some kind of trap. I don't think there is, but we'll just keep wandering forward anyway. Just gotta keep an eye on the floor, because as soon as I step on you... Oh no, it's just a regular Draugr. Regular dead Draugr. Oh, now that's what I was waiting for. There we go. Oh, and there's another one. This is just a giant fucking maze! Right, hang on. Stone flesh. I'll buy me a bit of extra protection while I fight this guy off. What else is there to talk about? The music is fantastic. Jeremy Soule did the music for this game, I believe, and I can still hear the bloody... You can still hear the bloody main menu theme when you... Well, hopefully not when you die like that. Jesus. My health just dropped there. Jesus, wept.
Oh.
Let's see, how long ago am I... Oh, wait. Let's just turn around and leave and go find something else. I can always come back later because fast travel. We'll go find, like, one more thing and then end the video off, because we've been at it for nearly an hour. And I'm almost fill up on carry stuff. I would love to see the ability to add, like, minor mods come into this. Anything from, like, difficulty rebalances to, you know, like, extra animations and stuff, you know? Nothing too particularly major. Like, I know you're not going to fit something like Folk Reef, which is a major sort of conversion mod. Oh, dear. I've contracted a horrible disease. I know you're not going to find something like Folk Wreath running on the Switch, but I'd like to see the ability to add, like, minor mods to this come around eventually, but... I mean, it's Skyrim on a portable. I never thought I would have seen this, like, 6 years ago when this game first came out. The entire concept is just beyond belief. And the fact that it works as well as it does is just amazing to me. Let's see if I can get a sneaky way in. But I've been detected, so I might as well just hide. Oh god. It's a bandit chief. I am screwed. Let's just run. Yeah, that's an idea. Let's just run away. Find a different angle and come back tomorrow. There we go. Off the building. Awesome. Alright. Of course they realize this means war. Let's do this. There are, of course, a bunch of other things I haven't gone over in this game, but that's the chief. I get the idea that that guy's going to just wipe the floor with me if I so much as look at him the wrong way, but... Yep, there we go. I was expecting that. Right, we're going to try and clear that out, but we're going to clear it out from a different angle. Maybe one that doesn't result in me getting absolutely isolated and annihilated. I can't believe I walked right into the house that had the most powerful enemy fucking there. Jesus. Quite hard to be a balanced battle mage in this game, but... Well, I'm going to bloody try it anyway. Let's try that again. Alright, so this time we're just going to knock on the front door because, well, the other way went so nicely for me. Apparently I've been seen, however, so let's just... Yeah, I got him. Awesome. Okay, the outlaws are a little stronger, so I need to... That's more like it. Missed his face. Let's try something else, actually. What about, lightning bolt? I don't know how this works. Right, it's an instant, so let's do that instead.
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Tell you that, you bastard.
I'm warning you. Back off. I'm warning you. Back off.
He's warning me back off after I've already wiped out 3 of his mates and someone is actively shooting at me. Oh well, you die anyway. What else you got in there? You've got 33 gold. That's actually a lot of money. Need to wait for my bloody magicka to come back. Oh, rocks fall, everyone dies. Interesting. Hi. You had the right idea trying to run, but you sure didn't think it through too much. I have no idea what those levers do, but I imagine I just pissed off somebody.
Now ain't this a surprise?
That is certainly somebody. Right, running now.
There, I'll kill you.
That's all you've got?
Let's get my sword out. Really should have got this out before I did anything else. Where is my sword? There is my sword. And I don't have the magicka to use it. Let's use some potions to fix that up. No, never mind. I died. Oh well, let's just leave it off at that. I don't think there's much else I really need to show you. You've seen the size of the map, you've seen most of the mechanics. Maybe except like the speech windows and all that, but oh well, that was a quick look at Skyrim on the Switch. It's still a good game if you just want a big world to explore, lots of loot to find, and lots of dudes to meet and kill. And the Switch port works absolutely fine as far as I can tell. So, there you go. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.